Beneath the sunlit grandeur of Knossos, in the hidden depths of a twisting labyrinth, there was a creature whose existence was woven from both horror and sorrow. Half man, half bull, the Minotaur was a living embodiment of rage and isolation, a creature born not of nature but of divine punishment and human folly. The Minotaur, known as Asterion to those who dared speak his true name, was the son of Queen Pasiphae of Crete and the divine bull sent by Poseidon. His birth was the result of King Minos' defiance of the gods. Minos, who had promised to sacrifice the sacred bull to honor Poseidon, chose instead to keep the creature for himself, admiring its beauty and power. The god of the sea, enraged by Minos' betrayal, cursed Pasiphae with a maddening desire for the bull. From this unnatural union, the Minotaur was born, a monstrous being with the body of a man and the head of a bull, his life marked by violence from its very beginning. Though the Minotaur was a child of the royal house, his deformity and savagery were seen as an abomination. King Minos, shamed by the creature's existence, commissioned the brilliant craftsman Daedalus to construct a labyrinth, an intricate, inescapable maze of stone where the Minotaur would be imprisoned for life. Deep within this labyrinth, Asterion roamed, forgotten by the world above, a prisoner of his own monstrous form. For years his rage grew, and so did the legend of the fearsome beast that lurked in the darkness. The people of Crete whispered tales of the creature, describing him as a mindless predator, hungry for human flesh. And soon, the labyrinth became more than a prison. It became a graveyard for the innocent. As tribute, Minos demanded that Athens, his conquered enemy, send 7 young men and 7 maidens every 9 years to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. These youths, trapped in the maze, wandered hopelessly through the stone corridors until the beast found them, their cries echoing into the night. But the truth of the Minotaur's existence was more complex than the legend. For beneath the monstrous form there was still a glimmer of the human heart. Asterion was not simply a beast, but a creature trapped between 2 worlds, rejected by his human kin, and unable to fully embrace the instincts of the animal he resembled. His existence was one of torment, confined in a cold, dark prison of stone, with only the scent of fear and the sound of weeping youths to keep him company. It was not until the arrival of Theseus, Prince of Athens, that the tale of the Minotaur would reach its tragic conclusion. Theseus, determined to end the cruel sacrifices and bring honor to his city, volunteered to enter the labyrinth and face the beast. With the help of Minos' daughter Ariadne, who gave him a thread to mark his path through the maze, Theseus ventured into the heart of the labyrinth. The confrontation between Theseus and the Minotaur was one of mythic proportions. The hero, armed with nothing but his sword and courage, versus the beast that had haunted Crete for years. In the flickering light of the labyrinth's torches, the two faced off. The prince, driven by duty, and the creature, driven by an instinctual fury that had consumed him for years. Theseus, with the strength and skill granted to him by the gods, struck the final blow, piercing the Minotaur's heart. And as Asterion fell to the cold stone floor of the labyrinth, there was a moment of silence, a silence that carried the weight of centuries of torment. The creature, born of divine wrath and human failure, was finally free from his suffering. His death, though violent, brought an end to a life lived in darkness and misery. The legend of the Minotaur, however, lived on. It became a symbol of human arrogance and the consequences of defying the gods. Yet, to those who knew the deeper truths, it was also a reminder of the tragic fate of those who were born into circumstances beyond their control. Asterion, the Minotaur, was both monster and victim, a creature whose life was shaped by forces far greater than himself. In the end, the labyrinth stood empty, its twisted corridors no longer echoing with the roars of the Minotaur. But its walls still held the memory of a beast who had been both feared and forgotten, a creature whose story was as much about human cruelty as it was about divine punishment. And as Theseus sailed away from Crete, victorious but burdened by the weight of the lives lost within the maze, the name of the Minotaur passed into legend, forever remembered, but never truly understood.